Hello, Screven County Schools. I'm Marlene Harris, your instructional technology coach. Welcome to this tutorial on Google Forms, how to use them effectively and efficiently. In this tutorial, we'll look at some new features and updates that are current as of December of 2016. So let's begin by looking at a Google form. There are several different ways you can open a new form. If you're in your Drive, you can go to New, More, and Google Forms. If you're starting in a new tab, you can navigate directly to forms.google.com or use the waffle in the top right-hand corner and click the Forms icon. For more information on configuring the waffle or the Google Apps Launcher, please see my Tech Tip Tuesday video, Configuring the Google Apps Launcher. Okay, so now that we're in Google Forms, we can start a blank form. And from here, the first thing I suggest is that you go to the settings and choose the settings that you want before you even begin adding your questions. So let's go to the settings menu. Inside settings, you'll notice 3 tabs across the top: General, Presentation, and Quizzes. Under the General tab, you need to decide if you are going to collect their email addresses. In the case of any type of formative or summative assessment, you need to make sure that you collect the email addresses. Otherwise, you will not know who responded what. In the response receipts, if you want to give the respondents a copy of their responses, you would select that. That's probably not what you want to do in the case of a assessment. You also need to decide if you want to restrict to the Screven County School users, and if you would like to give them multiple attempts or to limit to 1 response. Then you can decide if you would like to allow your respondents to edit after they submit and see a summary of all the results. When they see a summary, they'll see all of the responses but cannot identify individual responses. In the Presentation tab, you can show a progress bar, shuffle the question order, show a link to submit another response, and change your confirmation message. The default confirmation message says your response has been recorded, but you can change that message to anything that you would like. In the Quizzes tab, you can change the survey into a self-grading quiz by sliding the quiz button on. You may release the grades immediately after each student submits, or choose to release them later after you have reviewed and all students have submitted the quiz. The bottom options determine what type of feedback the students will receive when you release the grades. Will they see the questions they missed? Will they see the correct answers? And the point value for each question. After you have determined your settings, make sure that you click Save. To begin editing the form, we'll click in the top right corner and name our form. On the right-hand side, you can use the Insert menu to add questions to your form. If you click the plus sign, then a question box will open for you. Inside that box, you'll see a drop-down menu that will allow you to select different types of questions to ask. There is a new question type called File Upload that will allow your students to submit files and documents within their quiz. So if you choose this option, it gives you a notification that you need to make sure that you trust the person that's about to upload a file to your Google Drive. Click Continue. Then you have some options as to how many files your students will be uploading for you and the file size. The file size is not particularly important to us because in Google Apps for Education, we have unlimited storage in our Google Drives. If we were limited to the amount of storage we had, we might want to limit the file size. 10 megabyte would be a decent file size for anything your students would need to upload. Then you can also decide what types of files you would like to upload. If you select File Types Allowed, then you can turn off all file types and then choose only the file types that you want your students to upload. Suppose that your students are uploading an image or a PDF, then you could select those 2 options and then click Apply, and only those 2 types of files would be allowed. Another new feature is the ability to add an image to the question or to your answer choices. If you hover over to the right-hand side of the question, you'll see an image icon. Click on that, and you can add an image that you have saved on your computer somewhere, or you can go to your Google Drive, to upload an image, or you can search for an image if you don't already have one picked out. So if we search for bird nest, then we can choose the one that we want to add and select, and it'll insert it into the question. If you would like to resize the image, select the image and grab the blue handle in the corner and resize as you desire. If you click off of the image, then you'll notice a menu option that opens in the top left-hand corner. Click there, and then you can align it, change it, or remove it, or add a caption to your image. To add an image to your option, hover over the option and click the image on the right-hand side and go through the same process. Now that we have created our questions, we can go in and enter our answer key so that our quiz will automatically be graded. Please note that auto-grading only occurs for multiple choice, checkboxes, or drop-down type items. So to enter the answer key in the bottom left corner of each question box, click Answer Key and select the correct answer. You also need to assign the point value for each question. If you would like to add some additional feedback for each answer choice, you could do that here. If you click this option, you have a choice to enter feedback for incorrect answers or for correct answers. You can save that after you've entered your feedback. Note the chain link in the bottom left corner that you can link some resources for review if you would like to give that sort of feedback as well. For an extended response type question, go into the answer key. The only thing you need to set in here is the amount of points that that question would be worth, and then go back to editing question. After the students have completed the quiz, go to the Responses tabs, and the number beside the Responses tabs tells you how many submissions you have. There are two options. You can look at the class summary or you can look at individual responses. In the top right corner, you can create a spreadsheet that's associated with all of the responses from your students. The menu options under the snowman icon are to get email notifications, to select the response destination. If you have your form linked to a spreadsheet, you can unlink it here. You could download your responses to a CSV or a comma-separated value file, which is an Excel file. You can print all of your responses and delete all of your responses. Whenever you decide to turn the form off so that no one else can take the quiz, you can toggle between accepting responses and not accepting responses. For all quizzes, you'll get an insight summary, which gives you some statistics such as the average, the mean, and the range, and a bar graph of that information. It will give you the frequently missed questions, and then you'll see the scores for each individual student. On the right-hand side is the option to release the scores after you have hand-graded all of the open-ended or constructed response questions and all students have completed the quiz. Scroll below to see an item analysis of each question. This summary would be great to project to the whole class for classroom discussion after the quiz. To see the individual responses and to hand grade any of the constructed response questions, go to the Individual tab. You can scroll through each user by using the drop-down menu and selecting a student individually, or you can go left to right using the arrows that are provided here. So as you go through, you can see all of the individual responses, and on the open-ended question, you can see what they responded, and in the points box, you would assign the value that they earned for each of those questions and click Save. And then you can scroll to the next student, find the open-ended question, and assign the points for them as well, but don't forget to save. To add some functionality or to increase the productivity of your forms, you may want to add some add-ons. To add add-ons, go to the Snowman or the More menu in the top right corner, and the last option is Add-ons. Click there. Inside the add-on store, you can scroll through and choose add-ons that may be helpful for you, but there are a couple of them that I want to make sure you're aware of. The first one is called All Questions Required. This add-on allows you to require all questions with one click of the button instead of having to go through and manually set each question individually. Another add-on that's useful is Form Recycler. Form Recycler allows you to import questions from other forms that you've already created. For math teachers, GMath allows you to insert equations and graphs into your forms. These are just a few of the add-ons that I use on a regular basis. You are welcome to go through and shop for others inside of the add-on store. Just hover over the add-on and a description of that add-on will populate, and then you can decide if you would like to try that out or not. Once you've added your add-ons, to run the add-on, you go to the puzzle piece or the add-ons menu and select the add-on that you would like to run and follow the menu options for that particular add-on. One of the newest time-saving features that Google has added is predictive question types and suggested responses. When we add a new question, it defaults to multiple choice type, but now Google will predict what type of question you would like to add. For instance, if you type in name, notice that the multiple choice type question automatically changes to short answer. If you type the word comment into your question type, it will automatically predict that you want a paragraph type question. If you ask a question, what day, it will automatically predict that you want the days of the weeks as part of your responses, and you can choose the days that you would like to include, or you could add all. If you ask a question that has a yes/no response, Google will offer those suggestions as well. Now that we have completed our Google form, we need to talk about the different ways that you can share this form out. The first way is to share it with other collaborators. Collaborators have editing privileges of the form. They can also view all of the responses and delete the responses as well. To add a collaborator, you can go to the More menu or the snowman icon and add collaborators. An alternate way to add a collaborator is in the Send button. At the very bottom left corner, there is an Add Collaborators option there. When you add collaborators, make sure that this is someone that you want to edit your form, to view all of your responses, and possibly delete those responses. While we're in the Send menu, we'll talk about how to send the form to respondents. There are 3 ways you can send it. You can send it via email, and you would simply type in the email, or you can go in and grab a link that you would like to send out via email or post in your Google Classroom. If you would like to shorten the URL, you can choose that option, and then copy and paste that shortened URL. The third option is to embed the Google form into a website. The third option is to share your form with others so that they may make a copy of your form, but not edit your form or assign your form to their students. The quick, easy way to do this is while you are in edit mode on your form, go to the URL address and click at the end of that address, and you'll see the word edit. Delete the word edit and type the word copy and hit enter. Now this link is a copy link that you would copy this link and paste it in an email to your fellow teachers so that they can open this and make their own copy of your form without editing your form or assigning your form to their students. Thank you very much for completing this Google Forms tutorial. If you take the quiz that follows the video, then with a grade of 70 or better, you'll receive this certificate of completion. Thank you again, and look forward to seeing you next time.